Yeah, of course you can.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to be here tonight. You have to forgive me, I got to put on my glasses because I am getting older. If you don't remember me, I'm Officer James McGowen with formerly the Barry City Police Department. Came here to make I'm going to read a prearranged statement so that I don't unnecessarily waste your time, because I know the business you folks deal with is very important, and we'll go from there. So the purpose here is to set the record straight regarding my March 2025 resignation from Barry City PD, to defend my honor, reputation, to provide supporting documentation of my defense, to request fairness, transparency, and accountability from Barry City officials. A little bit of my background. I'm a graduate of Norwich University, class of 2007. I served as a first lieutenant United States Marine Corps, serving 2 overseas deployments. I have served as a Vermont State Trooper for almost last 8 years, I served as a patrol officer for the Barry City Police Department. I'm a 4th generation law enforcement officer in my family with over 100 years of dedicated police service. Incident history: on 12/20/2024, I arrested a fleeing felon in Barry City, which required the use of force after the subject resisted arrest and assaulted me. On 12/23/24, I was placed on administrative leave by Barry City officials on an allegation of excessive force. On 1/15/25, the Vermont State Police concluded there was no evidence of excessive force after investigation. On 1/16/2025, the Orange County State's Attorney's Office cleared my 12/20/24 use of force actions, stating Officer McGowan's exercise of force was reasonable and that his use of force was necessary to defend himself. On 2/4/2025, a second internal investigation ordered by the Barry City Police Department by Windsor, Vermont Police resulted in a substantiated finding that excessive force was used. On 2/13/2025, Barry City recommended my termination. On March 9th, 2025, I was pressured to resign for fear of losing my health care benefits if terminated while my 5-year-old was undergoing a serious invasive medical procedure at the time. The city scheduled my Loudermill hearing for 2 days after his procedure, knowing I would be focused on my son's care. I resigned to ensure my 5-year-old's safety and treatment was not affected. On March 5th, 2025, Barry City Police filed an Act 56 complaint with the Vermont Criminal Justice Council, also known as the VCJC, the state entity that regulates law enforcement actions and certifications. The Act 56 complaint outcome: on 12/16/2025, after a 6-hour hearing at the VCJC, all charges against me were dismissed with prejudice. I was completely exonerated by unanimous 18-0 vote, the first time in VCJC history. An order of dismissal was issued. I was not even required to present a defense, as a directed verdict was issued by the council and the state presented their case, including testimony from the internal affairs investigator, a use of force expert in Barry City Police. The merit/findings of the IA investigation were dealt with during the hearing and will not be re-litigated here, as the VCJC is the controlling entity. Personal commentary. Excuse me real quick. Personal commentary. For almost 1 full year, my family and I lived a horrific daily nightmare. The emotional, physical, psychological, reputational harm, and financial pressures were almost unbearable and never ending. On administrative leave, I could not work any overtime and were severely affected financially. My legal defense fees cost thousands upon thousands of dollars. My wife and 2 sons were severely affected at home and in school. My son's unable to understand the magnitude and stressors every day and odd interactions in the Barry community. I was shunned at work, intentionally embarrassed by Barry City Police officials in front of fellow officers. City officials provided negative comments to local TV, podcast, and press media, and volunteered a 8-second video clip of the police encounter lasting 8 minutes and 17 seconds, all before the 12/25 VCJC hearing. I was unable to respond or defend myself at the time due to my pending hearing. That restriction no longer applies and will be addressed in the media moving forward. Please note, I did have the strong support of the local Barre community with a petition drive to reinstate me signed by more than 900 residents post VCJC 12/26/25 hearing. Even after the unanimous 18-0 vote and dismissal of all charges, city officials continued to disparage me. On 12/18/2025 and 1/6/26, a city official provided negative commentary to your council that the VCJC was incorrect in their decision and that the city stood by their initial findings while providing two supporting documents. The city official conveniently failed to inform the council that those two documents were presented as evidence at the 12/16/25 hearing, as well as the IA investigator and the use of force expert extensive testimony over 6 hours. The unanimous verdict clearly shows that both the testimony and supporting documentation were either completely rejected or not viewed credible by the entire VCJC board. Despite the unanimous decision, city officials still appear unwilling to accept that over 25 law enforcement professionals in Vermont, the VSP and the VSP, BCI command staff, Orange County State's Attorney's Office, and unanimous VCJC full council all agreed the use of force was reasonable, negating the initial findings of Barre City Police, Windsor Police, and resulting in complete exoneration. Regarding supporting documentation, and if given the opportunity to present prior to the directed verdict on 12/16/25, I would have introduced two documents of my own. Those documents being an expert report from the former colonel around the state police and a PowerPoint produced by my attorney, both of which were stipulated to evidence at the 12/16 hearing. For your review, bear with me 1 second. Okay. Next page, excuse me. Please note this report cites the 2/13/2025 Barre City letter and the 3/5/25 Act 56 complaint as containing false or misleading statements, repeated critical omissions of material facts, and repeated examples of Barre City PD's failure to identify or disclose exculpatory evidence, resulting in my due process rights being repeatedly violated. Those concerns will be addressed in a separate legal forum. I will provide copies of both reports to any council member interested in reviewing. Barre City Police unfair disciplinary practices. Lastly, I contend that I was subjected to a different level of discipline in my 12/20/2024 event compared to other Barre City Police use of force cases, which appear to be significantly more egregious than mine. I was placed on administrative leave almost immediately for more than 5 months, subjected to 2 separate investigations, and had an Act 56 complaint filed with the VCJC by Barre City Police. I was accused of striking a subject 3 to 5 times in the face and head area with empty hand strikes, later deemed authorized by VCJC. So the subjects suffered a bloody lip. On 12/27/25, the same subject was arrested by 2 Barre City police officers and resisted arrest, as in my case. Records show one officer struck the subject in the head face area at least 17 times. The subjects suffered facial fractures. Body cameras available upon request. On July 28, 2025, a subject was illegally riding a bicycle on a Barre highway, also known as Vermont Route 62. 2 Barre officers detained him. Subject was non-cooperative. After being handcuffed with his arms behind his back and while on the ground, the subject was pepper sprayed. Pepper spray usage was later criticized by a VCJC certified use of force instructor as improper. The body camera is available, but the body camera links on YouTube are no longer available for reasons I will not discuss here. It is my understanding that in both cases referenced above, no disciplinary action was taken, no administrative leave was issued, and no internal investigations were open. And no Act 56 campaigns were filed with the VCJC. Both use of force cases were approved by Barre City Police. That is the end of my presentation. Does anyone have any questions at this time?
Counselor? Let's start off with, so from my understanding, there was 2 committees, for lack of a better term, that the police chief of Barry used to look over your case, correct?
The Vermont State Police and Orange County State's Attorney's Office, sir.
Okay, and they both came back that you did not use excessive force, correct?
Yes, so the Vermont State Police did the investigation. The Orange County State's Attorney's Office did the analysis. They said the force was reasonable and there's no and it was justified for use of self-defense. Also, the Vermont Criminal Justice Council voted 18-0.
Well, I'm gonna get to that.
Yes, sir.
So we have 2 committees that were picked by the Barry City Police Department with the chief that came back that you weren't guilty.
Yes.
I'm putting this in pretty easy terms.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it didn't end there.
No, sir.
So then they wanted a different answer, so they went out and they hired another independent source, which was because I actually saw the deposition. She was moving to Florida. And
Yes, sir.
so she gave a deposition that it was excessive force, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fast forward, it goes to the highest court, so to speak, the Vermont judiciary. And not only did you not present your, if I'm correct, your colonel as a witness,
Yes, sir.
before that happened, they had a recess and 18-0 found, and this is the important part, if people don't know the legal term, they, without prejudice,
Yes, sir.
which means everything's wiped. It's clear, there's nothing there,
Yeah,
it's done.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay. Number 2, you're stating facts of other officers, and I appreciate the fact that you're not mentioning names, because I'm sure they're.
Because I'd gavel you
Associates.
down in
I'm
a
sorry?
New York minute. Because I would gavel you down in a New York minute.
What's the matter? No, I'm not putting names.
Okay.
No,
Don't.
I'm just saying, do you have backup? Do you have backup stuff to prove those incidences? Because I don't want to throw someone under the bus.
Those incidents would be easily discovered through a FOIA request to the city of Barry, sir. Those incidents, the dates were July 28th, 2025, and then December 27th, 2025, sir.
And one of them is the same perpetrator, so to speak.
Yes, sir, the incident
I'll mention
on
names.
December 27th, 2025.
Okay, so we've been going down this road for quite a while now, and you actually gave your resignation. That seems to be the main reason,
Yes, sir.
but now it's comes to a fruition that you did it for the sake of your child.
I did it to protect my 5-year-old son, yes,
Because
sir.
I don't know the insurance programs that the police have, but if you didn't resign, you would have lost that, correct?
Yes, to give some context, my son has, and forgive me, I don't know the medical terms, he has viral asthma, which makes, when he gets sick, his respiratory systems go haywire. He was having a procedure done inside of his throat in middle of March or so. The decision was made to hold a hearing about 2 days after, and I was told repeatedly that if I go to the hearing, I would be fired, and that I would lose medical benefits at the end of March of 2025. So what I was told was if I submit a voluntary resignation, I would be paid and retain benefits through, I believe it was till either May 1st or June, sir. Without hesitation, I resigned from the city of Barry, not because I did anything wrong, but simply to protect my son, because without the medical benefits, I dare not think what would happen to him.
When this all happened, what was your rank?
I was a patrol officer.
Corporal?
Nope.
Below?
I was the lowest rank possible.
Can I reach out, Officer Tucker? You're a sergeant, correct? Do you think Officer McGowan's an asset to the police department?
Officer McGowen is a fine officer.
I'm sorry?
He's a fine officer.
Okay, I'm gonna really make this right to the end.
Yes, sir.
So after all you've told us tonight and what you've been through, and I don't doubt it, if they're offering you your position, you'd love to stay in Barre, Vermont because you're committed here. Is that correct?
I would come back.
Putting you on the spot.
I would come back in a heartbeat, yes, sir.
And everything's forgotten and we start a new chapter.
I just want to be closer to my family and serve the community I once loved serving, sir.
Okay. And I'm done.
Thank you. Any other questions, council? Yes.
What do you think that it would take to get your current position back with the city of Barre?
What would it take?
Sure.
From me or from someone else, sir?
Just in general. If you were to apply for the position, do you think that you would get an interview? Like we currently have open spots for the police department.
Yes, I'm aware that a candidate from the city of Barre just dropped out of the academy today, so there's another body lost. I don't know who is exactly in charge of approving me rejoining the department, but I'm beyond qualified and ready to go, sir.
And I guess just for the council's edification, I mean, you understand that as a city council, I hope you've all read the charter. So I think you must all understand that we have zero jurisdiction in this matter. We have a city manager, we have a police chief, they make the hiring and firing decisions. And you and I have had this conversation
Yes, sir.
before, James.
What I would say, Mr. Mayor, is the chief and the city manager stand by their decision, but they're disagreeing with the Vermont State Police, Orange County State's Attorney's Office, and the Vermont Criminal Justice Council. So I'm not sure I understand why they stand by their decision when you had the two top state agencies say essentially that I did nothing wrong. That's all I want to get on the record, sir.
It's on the record.
Thank you, sir.
You know, we have a
Anything
hard
else,
time
council?
getting people, we have a hard time getting 1,000 people to vote in the city, and we have 1,000 there standing behind you.
Thank you, sir.
Who hires the chief?
I'm sorry?
Who hires the chief and the city manager?
Who hires them?
Correct.
The city council.
So you're over all of them, but have no say in this matter?
We hire them. If you read the city charter, while we hire them, we can certainly terminate them. I mean, the manager serves at the will of the council. We do not hire the police chief. We do not hire anyone below the city manager. That's not the function of the Barre City Council, or any city council that I'm aware of.
All due respect, I'm just curious, what training does our city manager have to say whether excessive force was used in a police situation?
What? I'm sorry, ma'am? I didn't hear your question.
What training does our city manager have? Have they been through police academy to determine whether or not excessive force was used?
No, I'm not aware that the city manager is certified in law enforcement.
Okay, so.
Yeah, thank you. Anything else, council?
Something irrelevant, but I have to say it. It's kind of funny. About 2 months ago, I was watching a movie on Netflix about an FBI agent who infiltrated the Philadelphia Mafia as an FBI undercover agent, and his name was Mike McGowen. It's James' father, and he's in the audience right here, and my hat's off out to you, sir.
Any other questions? Thank you, James.
Thank you, sir.